And a short video on making blueprints. So basically, let's pretend we already drawn some blueprints, and these are my blueprints. So what I care about is that I have a person from a front, a character, whatever it is. Don't work. Say this one. Yeah, from a side view, front view, maybe you need something else, but at least those. Of course, it would be preferable to have it in T or A shape. So let's find T and A shape. That's more or less an A shape. Might be hands are a little bit too much going down, but more or less. So yeah. So here's probably a good A shape. So most important part, you see, with these lines, we make sure that the chin is exactly the same level from side view and front view and so on. So I'll just copy this one. And let me grab Photoshop. So what I would prefer is not to have a white background. It's okay to have a white background, but it's usually hard to select things because vertices are shown in white, selected ones, and you know, it's just nicer to have something like that. And what we need now is to save front view. And of course, we have to make sure that the size of the picture is the same for side view and front view. File, save as, let me save it as a JPEG somewhere. That's sure. Okay. So, front. And let's have a side view as well. Again, making sure that the height is exactly the same of the image. You can always double check it, image size, make sure that it's correct. So I'm saving it again in the same location. And let's go to Maya. And what we'll need to do is to create some planes. So I'll just create a plane. It doesn't need to be, it doesn't need to have so many subdivisions. Obviously, we just need one and one. And its size, now it's important to get, well, not the size is important, but the proportions of length and width. So in this case, image size, my proportion is 280 by 735. So let's say in Maya, I will do 28, or let's say 2.8. Never sure if it's comma or a point. So this case point works good, or works all right. So 7.35. 7.35. That's 7.35. Okay, so we have correct proportions. It doesn't matter if it's 2.8 or 280 or whatever. So now what we need to do is just to create a material. Well, it already probably has a material. Let's see. In attribute editor, it has Lambert1. So we just grab for color, we grab this file that we saved. And we would do the same for the other plane. So yeah, front, I think that's the correct size for side view. And we need to make sure it's visible in our scene. Now, if I correctly remember, J should be a shortcut to rotate it, you know, by increments. That should be 90 degrees. And then it makes sense to put it to a separate layer. So under channels, I create a new layer, layers, and I hope it creates a layer and yeah, and puts it to the. So what I want it to be as a reference and visible. And you see I cannot select it when it's put as a reference, when it's created as a reference. So now I'll just copy paste the same one and J and rotate it 90 degrees. Hopefully that's 90 degrees. And obviously that's a wrong picture and wrong size as well. So first let's double check the size. So I will open my image, the one that I already created. Okay, so let's see the dimensions of this image size, and we have 3, 2, 1. Let me go back to Maya, input. Where is it? Okay, so now we need a second image. Just create again a plane. Again, it's enough to have 1 by 1, and in this case, let's see the size, 321. So make it 3.21. And other dimension is 735, so the same one, 735. 7. Again, we don't care about its actual size. What we care about is the proportions. J. No. Is it J? Yes. And 90 degrees. I think it is. And you see it uses the same image as this one, because it's the same Lambert. So we'll need to create a new material, assign new material, whatever for now. And we grab another image. So the front view, I think it's this one. Okay, and we as well put it to this, to the layer. I select both of them and create a layer. Yeah, and this layer is a reference layer. So now I cannot select them, but they're always here. Whenever I go to some specific viewport, you can always see my characters here. And now I can start modeling. You know, I have something. Oh, probably it should be, yeah, here. And say I do something, and now it's easier to see. Oops, soft selection is on. Soft selection gets rid of that. Let's get rid of that. And you see it's easier to see things. Of course, we don't need a material for this box at the moment, so we just again assign a new empty material. And here we have it. Oh, now it's easy to, you know, do things. Of course, you would have way less words for this. That's basically it for preparing yourself those modeling references, the blueprints.